After tragedy struck my family and my grandpa had to give up the farm, I decided enough was enough. I moved out to my grandpa's farm knowing nothing about farming to make money. And we succeed. Will we fail? Find out in today's video. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of this field. I have been sitting here planting this field as straight rows as possible. We are finally done. We're gonna raise this up and we have to go ahead and I think we need to spray her down real fast and move on to the next field. We still have a few more fields to plant, one more cornfield to plant, and the rest of them will be beans. So I want to spray this down just real quickly just to get like all of the lime off to make sure nothing's really sticking too bad and to kind of clean up and make sure my planter's not caked in this stuff. All right, there we go. And we're going to actually take this on over here. And it's time to fill this full of some more seed and head over to the last field that we need to plant with corn. You know what I love? I love how beautiful these bees are because they just add a lot to the area. Just letting y'all know now, those bee jokes, believe me, they're not going nowhere. So we are doing a mother trucker. All right, looks like we're doing this one. So for the people who don't know, I said that this is going to be not the field we're planting. I was going to plant one of the other fields, but it looks like this is going to be the cornfield that we're planting. So I'm actually going to do 3 or 4 headland passes just to make sure I got plenty of room, do what we got to do, and then I'm going to go into up and down rows. I will say what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get the headlands done so I can get one of the neighbors to come in here and plant the rest of this. And then I want to switch over to do some hay real fast just so we can get that knocked out as well, and so that we can get a lot more work done today than what we did last time. And right now we are keep tracking and we have everything going in our favor. Right now we have already planted over half this field and we are trying to keep it as straight as we can. Ain't lie, I'm using GPS for this. I went and got one of them like little steering wheel hookup things that you hook up to your steering wheel. I forgot what brand it is, but you hook it up to your steering wheel and it basically turns any tractor into a GPS. Is like $2,000, but I've had this for a little bit now. That's kind of just what we're using right now to keep the lines as straight as possible, because this is definitely, you need these lines as straight as you can keep them. But I will say it's not like giving me a map of what it's doing, but it's definitely at least keeping the wheel straight enough because of the way it works. It actually works off your phone here and it kind of just keeps you going in a straight line. So we're keeping this going as fast as we can. We've already filled up twice already and we have knocked out, I want to say, at least a quarter of the field, and we still have plenty more to go. So it looks like I'm gonna have to do one more pass. I'm gonna finish one pass going towards, and after that pass I'm done, or I just run out of diesel. Great. Well, looks like I get to walk back to the place. Alrighty. So we gotta get this thing filled up. While that's filling, let's come back here and look at what kind of job the planter's doing. Not doing a terrible job, he'll be doing worse. Now that's full. Let's go ahead and take this back over here and put it out of the way. Now that that's there, let's walk back out there to the field and get our tractor going. But I am gonna kind of make this the last pass for a few minutes. I do want to stop for a second or two and start on some hay work because the neighbor said he wouldn't be able to come in, and I want to knock out this a little bit later tomorrow or later today, in fact, because I want to knock out this and the soybeans and all the other stuff that we need to get done. There's just a lot of stuff that needs to be done in a very short amount of time. And we did at least get most of it planted. We have about 4 more strips right there, and of course the rest of that right there left to do for corn planting. But just going to kind of put this out of the way so we can start in the morning. All right, so let's get some of this sprayed in here. There she goes. Put her in gear. She's a nice old sucker, but she at least runs and drives pretty decently. So what we gotta do is we actually gotta hook up to this right here, to the hay bind. Guess never mind. Looks like we can't use this. Oh man. I guess the Alice Chalmers would be the best bet to go with for right now, even though it does have the big fat duals on it, but really don't want to have to use the big fat dual. All right, now that we got her in here, what we gotta do is we gotta get out of here and actually shut the gate. Make sure we close the gate back up because we got to cut this grass. That's just a nice thick grass right now, so this will be perfect to turn into grass for the cows. Now this was an old horse paddock where my grandpa used to have horses, but I decided since I'm taking over the farm just to turn it into like a little hay field so that I can at least have fresh hay every year. I may end up turning one of my actual, that one little pasture that I want to put beans in would not be a bad place at all to put grass seeds in. I don't know, if y'all want to see me plant more grass, please and do some more hay work, please leave a like down below and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Should we do more hay work on this series? Do you want to focus more on the cattle? Like, what do you guys want to see? When we're getting all this cut down, it's actually, the mower's doing a really good job. The only issue is I hear a lot of beating from back there, so that means we might need to look into getting some bearings replaced. I'm not 100% sure, but it does look like it's doing a halfway decent job, and as long as it's doing a good job, I really couldn't care. And there we go. Do want to take a quick look back here. Yeah, I can see where, yeah, it's beating that one side really hard. What we're going to do, actually, we're going to take this out of here. We're going to put it inside of the shed over there, or at least just take it out of here so we can get a good look at her. So we'll leave that kind of there for right now. The next thing we need to work on is getting the baler at least out. Starting the baling process would be the next best case, I guess. Oh, look at this old rusted girl. She is a working. She is putting her heart and soul into making these bales right now. Gotta give her credit. Oh, there's one. I love. Please don't make another. Oh, man. So we are going to do some bale cleaning up, it looks like. Which that ain't that bad to do. This old girl does not like this whatsoever. I can confirm this theory of she does not like doing this. So what we are going to do to save my sanity, we're going to pull that pin. Oh, you will not go above 2 miles an hour. That's interesting. Pride, come on. There we go. All right. Yeah, she definitely has a lot wrong with her. I really didn't think we had to fix her. Oh, that looks like we're going back to Dallas Chalmers to finish the rest of this field. Yay. I thought she could at least make it through 1 year of farm work. There we go. Out of the way. Don't have to touch her anymore. Now all we got to do is go and find Dallas Chalmers. Now this right here, she should have no problems. I know my grandfather took really good care of her. Oh, look at her. 7 miles out the gate. She is a going. All right, now for these bales, let's just go ahead and chuck them in here as we see them. We actually got a few more bales. We had a lot more bales than I thought we were going to get. Probably about 15, 16 bales in here, if I take a guess. Which I know for some people that may not be a whole lot, but for at least this baler, that's a lot more than what I was expecting. And for this property over here, that's definitely a lot more than I was expecting out of this little property. So that means we may have a plenty of bales for at least a little bit of time. And there is, I believe it said 35 bales, and each one of these bales are accounted for. So now what we gotta do, open up this gate here and just drive her on out. Now what I am going to do, just for my sanity, I'm going to take these bales down here and at least put them out of the way. I do want y'all's opinion. What do y'all think about making this field, this little part over here, into a grass pasture and putting it down here next to our cattle? And look at there, it's a nice little perfect place to store the bales, especially since we don't have no cattle. We don't got to worry about them eating it, and we can just throw them up into here, and we have plenty. We have all of our grass bales put up into the side. Well, looks like I got to go back to planting and getting that done. Let me actually take this over here and pull this diesel barrel out. I shouldn't need it anymore, and if I don't need it anymore, there ain't no point in me taking it with me and letting it just slide all over the place. And there we go. I'll take it on out of here. I guess the best place to put would be inside the barn here, out of everybody's way, so that nobody actually runs over or hits my diesel barrel. It's just we have to have it in case of scratchers run out of diesel, but I really don't want to keep it in the back of here, especially when I'm about to haul seed over there. I do plan on, before the next vlog, just go ahead and planting the rest of those two fields that's over there. And ladies and gentlemen, while I pull into the field to finish up planting of the corn and go ahead and start some soybeans, I want to go ahead and say thank you all so very much for watching today's video. For me and the entire team, we'll see you next time. Peace.